Elizabeth on her line was 24 years. Get ripped off daily by America. Well, I can't say what all happened after March because a lot of things happen after March that we don't even know that happened. People join organizations, people start organizations, people went into business for themselves that they wouldn't have done if it hadn't been for March.
And I wasn't going to do this at first.
You what?
Yeah.
Why? You thought it was just another march?
No, just this documentary thing, yeah. I wasn't sure if I was going to try to.
Statistically, there are very few black businesses. In fact, the ones that exist are weak because the average black business only makes $40,000 a year, $45,000 a year.
That's something.
One employee can go
with the plan.
But that's a very
It's size bigger than you.
One of the largest problems of why these problems exist in our community existed before the Million Man March.
Oh, good. That's cool. That's cool. That's dope, bro. Good idea.
We built our economic power up. We haven't gotten collective on building wealth,
financially independent.
An identity, searching for a consciousness, searching for a purpose. And I believe that many of us have the pledge alive. And so I'll continue to keep the pledge alive.
When we get our banking and our money together, I guarantee you, the whole world will come to our footsteps and say, hey, we want to invest with you. Nobody on earth that's been through what we went through the Middle Passage and all that have transformed themselves to be where we are today.
So now what we say, challenge still exists. Not only to have those financial investments in our community, not only to create those jobs, but also to be seen, also to stand up, also to work together, which I think really are the key elements of the New Tomorrow for us.
What's up, everybody?
For the Black community.
Long live the spirit of the Million Man March. Say it with me. Long live the spirit of the Million Man March.
All right, I think that's about it. All right. All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, listening in. Holla at the Success Scholar. It's a beautiful, beautiful day to be here, broadcasting live from eLife Media. I'm joined here first and foremost with the wonderful Charlene Day.
Hello, everybody.
Great, great, great. And we are going to have an education discussion with none other than our sister Laquisha Hall, Baltimore City's Teacher of the Year. Mm-hmm. So do we have her up? Let's try to get our sister up and we can get this conversation going.
Absolutely.
Getting a little echo, but it will flow. I don't know how that sounds to you all.
Yeah, go and invite some people over to talk.
Invite some people, everybody.
Let's talk education. Let's talk politics,
right.
But also let's talk about honoring this young lady, the Teacher of the Year, Miss Laquisha Hall, right there in Baltimore City.
All right. Let's see if we got her on.
Invite her. Teach, learn, earn is what I say. Hey, learn, you can earn.
Okay.
Can we have her?
I do hear her on the line. So let's get her up. Let me make sure we can see her. Try to make that pop properly. I know we can hear you so far, but let's see if we can see you. Laquisha, can you hear me? Turn your camera around. Let me see. Let me let her know that.
Yeah.
I think. Wait a minute. She might have got it. Let's see. All right. Let's see if she got it. Okay. All right. Can you see us, or I can't see you yet? But let's see. Do we gotta click that? She said she don't know how.
So if you want to turn her camera around, just a little button.
On hers?
On her phone.
It should be on your phone.
Is she on her phone or her laptop?
Great, great, great. So we wanted to have some, conversation about education, and so you've been here, you've been teaching for how long totally?
Yes. Woo.
This is my 16th year.
Okay, yeah,
Woo, 16 years.
that's great.
She
That's
looks
great.
16. You look 16, Laquisha. Wow.
Thank you.
16. I already know. We're about the same age, but must be them 70 babies, huh?
Right.
Must be 80s, 70s. So, yeah. Well, cool. Well, I'm 16 years in teaching. My favorite subject, English. Uh, yeah, yeah. So we have something in common. Definitely, mine was chemistry, and then I went back to get a bachelor's degree in journalism, mass communication with a minor in English because they said you're gonna teach English. You're either gonna go to law school or you're gonna go teach English. And guess what? Hey, I tried to do it all. and HBCU pride. I did hear that you graduated from Elizabeth State University. Like that is like huge, like a huge thing. I went to North Carolina A&T, but Aggie Pride all
Right,
day long. Yes, you
right.
know that. Yes, but one of the things I love about going to an HBCU is that they used to emphasize math and English. Like you would think that you were back in the 1900s. They're like, no, you got to do math. You got to be an English teacher or a math teacher. Like I heard that even as a chemistry major, it was like you got to be a teacher. So when I started off in chemistry, they were like, you got to do education with this. So education was always my background, but I found out that, hey, Charlene, you need to really stop that because you are nobody's introvert. Like you need to get out more. Hanging out in the lab wasn't going to work for Charlene. But for you, I want to go back to you as an educator, English major. When you first got out of school, was it teaching? Was it, hey, I got to do this teaching thing. I want to be the best English teacher in the world. I want to have the best, classroom and whatever. Like, was that your first ideal? Like, I'm going to kill it in the English teaching world.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I am just grateful for God giving me gifts. But I wanted to do, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a fashion designer. And as I got
Oh,
older,
right.
going to college,
See?
I wanted
Yeah.
to major in art. I consider being an art teacher. So I'm very creative, very creative. And my dad told me that there was no money in it. And
That's
so he is the reason that I'm an English teacher because he told me I had to get, like you said, English or a math degree. I tried the math tab. I think that lasted about 2 weeks.
Yes, no.
Yeah, I'm just not a numbers girl. And I tried English and loved it because that was also one of my favorite classes in high school. And when I left right before my graduation from Elizabeth City State University, I found out that Morgan had a program where they were hiring teachers in exchange for their master's degree. And I was emancipated at the time from my family, and I had no clue what the next step was for me after graduation. So I thought to myself, so if I take this opportunity, I'll have a job, and I can go to school at the same time. My other option was to go to Regent University, which was a Christian law school.
Girl, I love Regents. So much in common there. I went to Regent. Yes.
I really want to take that test.
Yes.
But, I was just trying to think about my livelihood at the time.
Yes.
And I knew nothing about Maryland, knew nothing about Baltimore. I came here with just my clothes and my laptop, no job, no money, no car, no license, nothing. I literally just came here like a child. Got dropped off at Morgan State University, and the rest is history.
Wow. All the way from North Carolina to Morgan State. That's scary.
Right. What part of North Carolina?
To Morgan State. That's scary.
Right. What part of North Carolina?
I'm actually from New Bern, so the area that has the
The flooding?
Veteran flooding.
Yeah, that's close to Kinston, right?
Yeah, that's very country.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my family's from Kinston.
Wow, yeah, I know that place also
Right.
well. Yeah, so I used to frequent there in graduate school, of course, in the Durham area. But more than that, I have family in the area. You got a lot of North Carolina A&T band members in Golston. My father was right there in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, so I know that area also. Well, but it is country, honey. So you came to
right.
the city?
Right.
Wait a minute. Country girl came to the city and
That's it.
showing out, just showing out.
Right.
So you end
Now I don't feel the country that
you are no nothing
Yeah, right.
about you says North Carolina. Nothing.
Right.
I would have never guessed until you told me. So you got here to Morgan State University. You took the route of listen. I'm gonna take this money. I'm gonna become an educator. When was your first? Tell me the first year. What year was it? Then you entered into the.
put holy oil on everything.
That's that new burn. That's
Yeah.
that new burn. Mhm.
The kids sometimes would get up and be like, what is on my shirt? And I'd be like,
right.
but I also had to adjust to also schools in North Carolina were air conditioned and the buildings were very different. And so when I came here, I thought the way that I was dressed would be appropriate. I was burning up, y'all. Like, I was either too hot or too cold. But I did it out of spiritual belief. So eventually I grew out of it. I started at Evanston Westside High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my first school, and I left there to become a department at Forest Park High School.
Mm.
I just feel like my first year was challenging only in the first semester because I had to adjust to city life.
Ah, okay.
The school, my scholars at that time kind of fooled me on the verbiage to use, the places to go, the places not to go. They schooled me. So second semester, I came back stronger. I think I came a little too country because they kind of preyed on me a little bit in my first semester. I think they heard it, they saw it, they were like, oh, give us potato time, let's take over,
Mm.
The second semester, I kind of put my foot down, and I had to go into character because that was not a part of my character, to be strict. And so, but I saw that so much success in that, and so
Mm-hmm.
saying that I still love my scholars very much, but I realized the importance of giving them a whole lot of structure in the classroom. So, yeah, I had a half and half first year. I didn't know what half and half was until
Yeah.
She said a half and half, right?
You know what that is, Charlene?
No, what's a half and half?
She doesn't know what that is.
I'm
Even
not from
let me
Baltimore.
just say that's a unique Baltimore thing. It's not a
What is
Maryland
that?
thing.
Laquisha, what is that? Hachi, what is that?
I'll let Laquisha
Is
tell
that
you what
sweet tea
happened.
lemonade? Because that's all
Yes.
I know.
Okay, that's what
so
it
Mama,
is.
come on. See, there y'all got all kinds of words. Okay, so that's my favorite, but it got to be unsweet with a splash of lemonade. Not all this sweet stuff.
Right.
But you,
it's like an equal amount of
nah,
Right.
I can't do that sweet. I lost my teeth because of that, you know? Well, it's funny that you would speak about your religion because my father used to be a bishop in the area, New Bern and Pinehurst and the rest of those places. And so, known as a prophet, a man of God. And that's where I get my religious background for. And I did the same thing you did. I would pray about everything, and everything had a spirit on it. So yes, the anointing oil, I can totally relate to, But I know, being in the city, even when I moved here 10 years ago, I was like, oh my God, like, does everybody curse? Like, does every Christian have a curse? But does every Christian really take a drink of liquor? Like, it's really okay to drink a glass of wine? Like, I don't believe this. Like okay, so I can have it with my salmon. I really like salmon, right? So you probably was like that, right? Like, okay, this is a little bit of a culture shock, a little culture change.
Wow.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
that's interesting.
a little. I was like, not everything. Okay, this is a little bit of a culture shock. It was a lot of a culture shock.
Right. Okay. Well, tell me something. So, I want to, you have a question for
No,
me
go ahead.
right now.
Shoot,
Okay,
shoot,
so
shoot.
family, how did your family, because it's a young teacher out there like yourself that's looking at you right now and all of your accomplishments. I mean, again, if you guys are you just tuning in, Laquisha Hall is in Baltimore. She's a teacher at the Baltimore
Carver High
Carver
School,
High School,
vocational, right?
Carver Pride. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, but she received the teacher of the
Teacher
year.
of the Year for Baltimore City Public Schools. Now, let me tell you, sis. Now, my mother graduated from Carver. My younger sister graduated from Carver, and now my younger cousin goes there
Oh,
now. So,
wow.
so
Awesome.
that's another reason why I love you too. So,
LaQuisha,
right.
I have to come to your school because I haven't been inside a city school in almost 4 years. I stopped teaching
Well,
and I taught at a private school. So I left there, I retired, so to speak, at 40 some years old because I was doing another business. But girl, God bless you, but I'd be willing to come in your classroom anytime. So I told her kids, like, oh my gosh, she is such a blessing to still be in the school system.
right,
But
right.
what I want to ask you about education is what's new in education? I know it's 10 or 20 years later. What's new in education? What changes have you saw since you started up to now? What's new?
When I started in education, when I started in Baltimore City, all 16 of my years have been in Baltimore City schools.
Mm,
Um, I, that's a difficult question because a lot of times, um, what I hear from my colleagues is that the kids change.
mm,
But I think what's changed is the way, and I know you asked about education, but this is directly correlates to that. I think it's the way our community treats our young people and how they um,
That's good.
entreat them and how they treat them.
mm.
Um, I think the amount of care, concern, love, and support that young people used to receive, and I won't even say when I started teaching, I'll just say in the past period, the amount of that has changed, the amount of passing down knowledge has changed, the amount of teaching values and the importance of education has changed. While a lot of people may not feel that college is their life's course of path, I don't hear my kids even often having a dream or knowing what they want to do
Wow.
Yeah.
beyond high school.
Yes.
Whereas I remember often growing up in my own childhood, people were always asking me, "Who you want to be when you grow up?" That was a question that I frequently thought about because I was often asked. I
Mm,
don't think people ask that question
That's
enough.
good.
If they do ask it, it's asked without care. Like when that child tells you, "I want to be a rapper," are we quick to tear them down because they want to be a rapper or basketball star, or are we trying to encourage them on how to reach their goal? Like I feel like that's changed.
mm.
Because even if that's their dream, we all have, even adults have dreams.
Right, right.
Um, Even if someone may feel that it's unattainable, I feel like we're so quick, often the adults of the community are so quick to shut down what our scholars, what our young people believe in, what they would like to do. I know that their influences have changed, but in order to reach them academically, I believe that it's important for us to hear what they care about.
Right.
They're not going to be willing to open up to us and go beyond surface level conversations with us. And so I believe that's what a lot of times is being received in education. I believe that another thing that has changed the amount of pressure that's put upon our young people. I always remember taking standardized tests growing up, but I do not remember taking the amount of standardized tests that
Mm.
people now take.
Wow.
I also believe that the amount of responsibility that our young people have has changed. So they don't just go to school, they're taking care of parents, they're taking care of siblings, they're
Exactly.
trying to work a job, and it's almost essential for them to do that in order for them to survive. So
Mm.
it's a lot, and maybe not in the school, but it's directly correlated to school because when they have all of this weight on their shoulders, it's hard for them to take that off for the 8 hours in their school.
Absolutely. Wow. You said a mouthful, and I think if there's an adult out there, if you're a teacher, principal, administrator, Laquisha is definitely in the heart of the matter with students herself. And when we talk about caring, when they speak, do we really listen? Do we really say, I can help you with that? And if I can help you with that, let me lead you to the person that can help you with your dreams and your desires, and not say you cannot be the next, what, I don't know, Biggie Small. You can't be P Daddy. You can be, you don't have to be them, but you can be in the likeness. You can be that next producer and continue to encourage it. Just because you're not doesn't mean that they cannot be. And so I think you're absolutely right. Taking that time to ask them, what would you like to be? Even adults like to hear that. And you know, I can imagine you saying that to a 10-year-old. What would you like to be? Even if he or she shrugs their shoulder and says, I don't know, and you continue to have that conversation with them, something will come out to say, you know, I like reading, you know, a little bit. I like my comic strips from, you know, the Mavericks. You at least have a conversation with them, and you can encourage them, you know, often when you meet with them again. So that was really good. Thank you for sharing that. So the next,
And if I may add,
yes.
you don't have anything positive or of value to say, but you teach them. Just don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Just talk.
Yes. Yes. Pause. Shut. I'm sorry. That's a bad word in the South. Be quiet. Just be quiet. So yeah, absolutely. You spoke about standardized tests and how many tests are happening within the system. I want to get on the talk about the politics of that. Like, how political do you think that is? And then let's talk about the politics that are happening right there in your county, you know, in that state. You know, really, politics starts right there at the local government, where they can mandate these standardized tests and take it up to the state and so on and so forth. How influential do you think your state and your county has on this thing called standardized tests?
I guess in a nutshell, my personal belief, and you know, others may disagree, but I don't really care. Nobody's staying in their room with me. I feel like my challenge, or each student in Baltimore City, is an experiment for our politicians. And they are using a whole lot of different strategies and techniques to see if it will work, and they always use it on our kids.
Wow.
I also feel like it's so indirectly a way to hold my students back. So when they don't see it, it comes out in the media as our kids are failures and failing. My scholars are amazing and can do amazing things, and maybe they can't sit down and take your 4-hour test the way you would like them to, but that's not the only measure of success.
Right.
To show what they can do. And so I believe that because it has been portrayed as testing, standardized testing has been portrayed as like the be-all end-all for education, people will look at scores and judge my scholars off of a number, not realizing that the entertainment that they listen to on the radio, that the fashion designers that they model themselves after, those types of ideas come from the same students that sit in my classroom.
Yes.
And so I just believe that I have a hard time with politicians. I'm pretty straight up.
Right.
I will support as far as discussing education with them, but when the person I'm talking to seems to only want to master their agenda and not hear from the perspective of a person who is standing in the room with them for 180 days.
Yes, come on.
More than 8 hours a day, because I'm in school early and I stay late daily. Then I'm no longer interested in hearing from them either. And so I frequently get turned off by politics and politicians.
Wow. Wait. I got one for you. I'm going to sneak this one in on you. You think you ever run for public office?
And I like, this is what I think about that. I've been actually been asked that before. I believe that we should create offices in the public. And
Mm.
have an open door policy where
Okay.
come to us and ask us questions and get support without it becoming something that's getting measured with numbers, something that's um, looked at as a negative or a positive. I just believe that if more of us came out into the community and supported each other, that is a public office to me. I feel like I'm already in public office. I have an open door policy. My child can talk to me about what they're experiencing at home. They can talk to me about their struggles in school. They can talk to me about their future, their past. You know, I am not a politician, but I have a public office and anyone's welcome to sit in.
Right.
That's really good. So how do you hold your political candidates or officers accountable? Because I think that's very important. I know I live in Howard County. I just met up with the Republican side, the Democratic side, and I'm hugely bipartisan. And I feel like I should hold you accountable. I don't care. Like, my voice matters, and I like what you said about being an officer in the public. But how do you hold them accountable? Are you out there talking to them as well and letting them know what's happening inside of your classroom?
I do. I do a lot of discussion, especially on social media. They seem to be very heavy on Twitter. I have an educational Twitter account, so when I see views that I agree with, I retweet them. When I see views that I don't, I share, alternative perspectives from the perspective of an educator. And one person who has really reached out in a very positive way to me has been Councilman Cohen, which I
Oh.
eventually had opportunities to also meet in person, and I'll also be joining him next month to discuss high quality education in public schools.
Okay.
So there are some who are responding positively and who seem to care about what's happening in our schools, but then there are some who don't. And you know what? Honestly, it's hard to hold them accountable because they're always running. Not just for all, but from us.
Right, right.
Wow.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
you're saying a mouthful. I got so much to talk to you about on that subject because I believe, like you, believe that, of course, we hold this office in the public, but what happens when we actually create mayors and town halls within that one school? I guarantee you can get more done with a school, parents, administrators in that one school at Carver with getting air conditioning, making it the number one school. Like I feel like you can create your own city council inside of a school and a whole community. Like that radius inside of block is like over 100 to 200 homes and houses to say, let's be the voice of this community. So when our politicians are not doing what we need them to do, guess what? We'll do what we need to do to make this a successful school. I would love to see
But I
that
think that's
happen.
part of the problem. There's not enough people who think like you.
Oh,
There's not enough people who are saying we need to do what we need to do to make this a successful school. If you just look at our back to school night turnout sometimes, like where are those voices? In those moments, like without politicians even present, sometimes people don't speak up. When there are forums, when there are opportunities for community to share what changes they would like to see, the participation is always very low. So as great as that sounds, I feel like going back to earlier, you had asked me what changes that I see, and I said that I believe that the way our kids are taught outside of the school building has changed significantly.
Right.
And I think it's because the adults in our community, the way that they think oftentimes has changed. So there's been a shift. Value and importance has been put on just working the job and making it versus I'm going to make it and pour back and sow a seed into my family, my children, the school that they attend. To be honest with you, Carver has a lot of alumni. They rep their school all the time on social media.
Come on now.
But we don't see alumni outside of homecoming.
Yeah.
I know as an educator, and so we got male students who have asked for mentors that need someone to talk to. While I serve as a resource for the girls, of course I can't serve all girls in the building, so having some more women on hand would be great, which we're actually working as much as you said, we should take on that and create the council within the schools.
Mm.
Who's going to do it if they're not, just doing small things right now, like attending a PTA meeting?
Right. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
whole nother
Yeah. That
that's
is
a whole nother
topic. Yeah.
conversation because I have a 12-year-old, so I'm at almost every PTA meeting, and oh my goodness, and you'll be surprised, even we do not attend a public school, but even on the private school level the participation is very low.
Yeah.
So it tells you a lot about parents, like are they, maybe they're working, so I don't want to shift, I don't want to have any blame, I don't know what the problem is, but it seems that the numbers are pretty equal in a sense.
Well, certainly, and let me just give this example. One time, a friend of mine that was, she lived in Silver Spring, so that's Montgomery County Public Schools.
Yes.
And she said the same thing. She said, her children were at a school where there were Hispanics as well,
Yes.
and the Hispanic parents were like coming, to the PTA meetings, and this is a more affluent, school system, of course, but I'm like, look, I mean, somewhere along the line, I mean, and I don't know how your interactions have been with the parents, but it's kind of like you gotta light some fire, under them. Like, look, I mean, this is grown up type of, this is a grown up type of conversation that adults are gonna have to have about the future of their children. And right now, Baltimore City, according to some statistics, are on the bottom, from a statewide perspective in many different areas. And black children, certainly. And what would you say your percentages of black children? I mean, Carver, would you like 90 something? I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, right.
90% black.
Yeah. Majority,
Yeah.
certainly majority black school, and I mean, we have to take education like serious. Like, I mean, even if, and this is what I say, sometimes parents become intimidated because they didn't achieve a certain educational level.
Yes.
But there was a time in history, like you said, Laquisha, where our parents said, "You're going to do better than me."
Right. They do say that.
Right. And education is the key.
Absolutely.
Like where are these conversations? They're not taking place in our community. And it's really, I mean, I think technology might have something to do with a lot of it, where people are distracted by all kind of other things going on in the world, but
Like
we
trying
got
to keep
encourage
up.
people to focus.
Like trying to keep up. Like who has the biggest house and a car, and then can I afford to pay for my son's football and basketball that costs over $1,000 to $5,000. So if it's not that, it's like, let me work to protect my child from getting the lights turned off, or having them in a safe home or a safe neighborhood. So there could be a lot of factors in there that I guess we just should consider. But at the same time, what if we brought PTA to their house? You think they'll still they were like, wait a minute, I gotta clean up. Now I'm not the house visit mama, because I tried doing a house visit when I taught, and I was like, I can't do this no more, because I've been pulled out brooms and everything. I'm like, I can't do this, and I'm scared of bugs and stuff. So I was like, I can't do this no more. I'm good. We'll just meet at a local place. How about food? Panera Bread or something. So I guess you can get creative on how we get the parents out, how we get the community involved. But the real, the real winners are people like you, Laquisha. The real winners are people like yourself, one person at a time, who can make a difference.
Right.
And that's what she's doing. You're making a difference in the girl's life. You niched out a market who desperately needs you. I mean, I just read a book which made me cry so bad that no one knew this young lady had been taken advantage of sexually since she was pretty much 5. And it was from her family members, not outsiders, her family members, and from house to house. And